many times can appreciate its true qualities.
तुम्हारा आवाज भी सिम पे जा रहा है, ओके?
कोई बात नहीं। देखो ये इतनी छोटी सी और इसके पीछे सर्कल देखो कितना बड़ा है, हद नहीं हो गई?
जस्ट लाइक दैट। किधर हो तुम?
इधर ही हूँ।
पास में हूँ, आ रहा हूँ। One second, huh? Genshin.
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
डिंग 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 डिंग।
Very nice.
देखो इसको क्या कर रही
A
है, डिंग डिंग
blade
डिंग डिंग
embraces
डिंग
its
डिंग।
duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Hope so everything clear now. Bro, तूने कभी ट्राई करा है इस गेम को?
किसको बोल रहे हो?
मेरे एक छोटा भाई जैसा है, भाई है सोच लो। वो बोल रहा भैया फालतू गेम क्यों खेल रहे हो?
A blade is like a tea
इसको
leaf.
बोलो ये गेम
Only those
फालतू
who
नहीं है,
sample
एक
it
बार
many
ट्राई करो
times can
पता चल
appreciate
जाएगा
its true
Exactly.
qualities.
कि क्या गेम है। वाह, मैं भगवान के पास गई ये सोच के कि मैं अपनी हेल्थ बढ़ा के आऊंगी।
Okay.
भगवान जी गिव मी योर आशीर्वाद। मैं रिटर्न आ गई भगवान के पास। अब फिर यहाँ से
Alright. आ जाओ।
भाई
बीजीएमआई खेलेंगे ना ब्रो? बीजीएमआई भी खेलेंगे। लाइक फर्स्ट इसको थोड़ा ग्राइंड करेंगे, देन बीजीएमआई। वेलकम एवरीवन, जो भी आ रहे हो स्ट्रीम पे मेक श्योर लाइक करो, ठीक है?
चलो
आ
ऑन
जाओ।
करो, मैं इनका फोटो खींचती हूँ। ये आ जाओ रे भाई लोग।
Whirling snow! Delved into destiny! Illusion shattered! Shadows of fate! Fate is upon you!
दोबारा ऑन ये हो गया क्या? जागरूक हो गए क्या?
वेलकम एवरीवन। मेक श्योर लाइक करो यार, बहुत ज़रूरी है लाइक करना। कितने रेजेंस यूज़ कर रहे थे तुमने?
एक और बाकी। हबीबी कम टू इधर।
Oh, there is someone who is spamming heart. अभी भी।
Decided by destiny! There is no... Step aside.
ये कर दिया हमने इनको। अभी भी तुम इधर अकेला क्या करते हो? तुम भी भगवान के पास जाओ। यो हो गया 50 लेवल। यस,
Nice.
थैंक यू।
Now you have also one
मैं
level
कोई
6.
कैरेक्टर को 90 लेवल कर सकती हूँ। यस,
Nice, nice,
जैसे
nice.
कि ये देखो मेरी ये हो गई 90 लेवल की
Shogun.
शोगन।
Ah.
यो शोगन हो गई 90 लेवल की। अभी रह गया, कौन रह गया? आग वाला कैरेक्टर ना। इसके लिए मुझे क्या चाहिए? मुझे के
Deal.
लिए मुझे ये चाहिए, राइट? और इसके लिए मुझे ऊपर जाना पड़ेगा। नैन्सी, मैं तुम्हारी इससे ये कर सकती हूँ ना?
Take flight.
Craft. हाँ जरूर कर सकते हो.
अगर मेरे पास होगा तो मैं देखती
Exactly.
हूँ। फिर बचेगा सिर्फ इनका टैलेंट को लेवल अप करना।
Mm-hmm.
और तेरी मेरे पास है नहीं है, सीरियसली?
Nice. Uh,
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
बताओ आप बताओ तो बना लेते हैं.
क्या बनाना है?
कुछ नहीं.
अरे
अरे मैं चैट पे बात कर रहा था.
ओके, अभी भी मुझे बाकी है। अरे बाबा, 24 करने हैं। 14 हो गए।
Installation on. Ah, this also free to accounts like have got characters. Ah,
तीन और ये तो मिलने से रहा, बट मैं
bro.
The world remains
सतीश
constant over the
अगर
centuries.
ये इसके स्टोरी मोड
Human
अभी
life is
खेलूंगा
like the dew
तब
at
देखना
dawn,
तुम, ठीक है?
or a
एंड आई
bubble
थिंक सो
rising through
तब तुम्हें
water.
इंटरेस्टिंग लगेगा इसका स्टोरी मोड देख के.
Transitory.
ओके मैं जाऊँ वर्ल्ड से दूसरा आईडी लॉगिन करना.
हाँ जी।
आ गया. ऑलराइट चलो मेन आईडी लॉगिन करते हैं.
अरे मेन टाइम पे उठा के पटका दिया।
डोरी थोड़ी देर के लिए स्किन जाएगा बिकॉज मैं ये कर रहा हूँ अपना आईडी लॉग करके लॉगिन करूँगा दूसरा. तो गिव मी अ मोमेंट. We are back. कौन को मुझे स्टीम का लिंक शेयर करना. क्या चाहिए तो ना
Boring. Isn't there anything else more interesting to do?
क्या कोई नहीं इंटरेस्टिंग तो करेंगे फाउंटेन वाला आ गया हमारा फाउंटेन में कंटिन्यू हो रहा था ना हमारा मिशन और वो मिशन आ गया तो हम स्टोरी करेंगे तब तक थोड़े लाइव में लोग आ जाएंगे फिर हम ग्राइंड करेंगे नाहिदा और उस कैरेक्टर को बिल्ड कर
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
हमारा अच्छा लगा हम ज्वाइन करेंगे उसको तो शोगन को सारी कर लेता है तुम्हारे कितने लेवल हो गए सारे
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
मैं लाइव में बैठ के तुम्हें लगता है ये करूँगा लो हाँ तो बाद में कर लेना 90 कोई बात नहीं वैसे तो मुझे हेल्प चाहिए ना मेरे को 90 करने में
The show begins.
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
बताओ कब कर रहे हो हेल्प मेरे नहीं कोई नहीं ऐसे मैं किसी के भी वर्ल्ड में जाके ले सकता हूँ पता है ना उसमें मजा है ज्यादा मजा आता है लोगों के वर्ल्ड में
Stay
जाके
close and
कोई
you will
लात
live.
मार देता है Exactly.
It needs a more romantic touch.
यहाँ तक स्टोरी हम यहाँ से कंटिन्यू करते हैं नाइस 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 क्या हुआ ओके हम यहाँ पे शो देखने आए हैं. ओके कूल. सर्कस मैजिक शो.
Come on, let's sit down.
एग्जैक्टली. और टाइम लगेगा आई नो बट ठीक है. कुर्सी में बैठ गई. न्यू विलेट. बेचारी इतनी सहमी सहमी. बताओ. न्यू विलेट को देख के डर गया क्या?
Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kinda awkward if we don't say anything. Ah, you little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh!
Nice.
So you heard all of that, did ya? Well,
Bye.
you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down. Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So let's talk. But what should we talk about? Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Such a gentleman.
So you're not friends with Linny then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Teyvat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet, what an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to. There's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise she may become flustered.
Bye, Lady Furina. कैसे हंसती है ये?
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh?
Chad
Things
New
are like
Let.
between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
चलो magic show. यहाँ पे ऑडियंस आ
They're
चुके
dimming the
हैं.
lights! The show must be starting! Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epicles. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. Huh?
Nice.
But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes.
अपनी बहन को? Really? पानी में डूब गई इसकी बहन? लिनेट की?
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
Nah, let's go. Okay, इसके सब कपड़े पड़े हैं.
Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Huh?
लिनेट के वो टंकी के अंदर पानी के. वो छोटा मैजिक दिख रहा था.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't seem to
Yeah, hi,
notice
singer.
it. Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
बड़ा शो.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, You should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that but our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go
it's
far
more
beyond
than
what
like,
you've just seen.
7 months something.
I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes.
I think so,
One is
not
here,
like 6
and
months.
one is there in the aisle
About
among the
3
audience.
to 4 months, I think. Are
I'm
you
sure
guys
many
ready
of our
for
clever
magic show?
audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! How's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
What's about you, like a singer bro?
The lucky
I'm going to
audience
do
member will
like
be
one
generated by
magic,
this random
like
number
instant
selector.
level
It selects
90
numbers
Nahida
entirely
and
at
Shogun.
random. Even I don't
I can
know
show
who will
that
be chosen
maximum.
to participate.
Okay.
Now then, let's begin.
It's almost 1 year for you play this game.
Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as
क्या?
comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything,
देर रात
but
को
no
कौन
matter
खाता है?
what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the fortress of Meripede.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box,
Like,
there
I
is
do-
one more thing I need to ask the
Previously,
audience to do.
I didn't like
Could you all
continue
give me a
doing
countdown?
streaming for a
Like
while,
this.
but I'm thinking
60,
to, like
59,
this year, giving my
58.
100% to
Just
stream
keep
and
counting
to regular
down.
stream
You can go a
to
little
like
faster
connect
or
with
slower if you
audience
like.
and
I
make
won't
a
be able
good
to see
family
anything in the
over here.
pitch black box, so I'll be
So
relying
you
on
can
your voices to know when
probably
time is
think
up. Oh, and no
tomorrow
tricks
night.
now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a
Or
tough
I can
spot.
do one thing. So for tomorrow, starting
Paimon
tomorrow, I
kinda
can
wants to
play
come faster after hearing you say
in
that.
morning or like afternoon one game for like 3 to 4 hours, and night another game like BGMI or something else for like 2 to 3 hours.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
60, 59, 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Huh? Why aren't you counting, Nervalette?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity
No,
and
bro,
personality.
not really. I
Do not worry
do
about
like
me. Just enjoy
it's
the
really
show.
helped to like stream on Twitch.
Alright.
I don't
wasn't
think
so
so.
serious
There
that
is
Paimon
like
thought you might be
Indian
feeling uncomfortable or
streamers get
something.
places on Twitch. I saw that previously. There's no such a good streamer from India who's doing Twitch stream.
Mr. Lenny,
There was this,
are
I
you all right
think
in
I
there?
know one
Is
guy.
everything
Was
ready?
called
Yes,
SK,
I'm fine,
please.
I'm fine. I'm just
He
double
do
checking the
regular
direction
stream
of the
on
message.
Twitch.
It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all.
Alright, bro. I will try. Like by tomorrow, I'll create a channel over there. I already have one as just watching
What was that
another
noise?
Twitch
Did you
stream
hear it
with
too?
that ID. But I will create a
Not
personal
sure.
one for like
Anyway, it
streaming.
doesn't seem like
Let's see.
anyone's worried about it.
Hope it's work. Genshin OP. Yo, bro.
What's wrong, Mr. Lenny? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's
Welcome,
no
Ashik,
time for
bro.
that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19, 18, 17.
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
आशिक ब्रो शेयर कर दो स्ट्रीम थोड़े ऑडियंस भेज दो इधर
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7.
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5. 4. 3.
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0.
भाई फुल जादूगरी
Ta-da!
My friend also have that same situation. He also tried to get like pull Nahida and he lost his 50-50 and also I think he already made around 130 wish or something. Let's see. Hope for the best. I think maybe he will get Nahida.
This part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if
YouTube
this
bro,
was all
hope
part
you
of
will
some
get
scheme,
Nahida soon.
then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
क्या होता है अब तक?
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance. And there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
It's
the serial
literally
disappearances case?
little odd, but I was
That's the case
thinking
that Charlotte mentioned before.
like having 2K or 3, 4, 5K subs, then we can do like a face cam something, you know, rather than you know what I mean. But surely one day we're gonna do face cam. Okay, and part of the audience.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
What the fuck?
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
Oh, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after
I
being
don't know,
chosen,
someday,
did
like,
she not? The
I'm
deceased
got,
is
like,
one of your
little
assistants,
more
is
subs.
he not?
Listen,
Now
bro.
that I think about it,
I don't know
that whole
YouTube record
speech
my
about magicians
stream or
making
not.
things disappear was
Hope for
nothing
the
more
best.
than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
That can't be right. How can Lenny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We could even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
Whether you all guys have your dinner.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right.
I think
mean
Farina
you,
was like
Traveler. You'll
childish.
support Lenny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met.
Not really, because I love to do like BGMI.
But
That is
with
because
Lenny's
I'm
help,
playing from
our
like
little
2018.
duel
So
ended in a draw.
that was the premium game, primary
But
game I
draws
could
really
play.
are
But
the most
this game
boring
also
possible
I'm an
outcome.
anime lover, so
So
I'm
no
kind
more
of
draws.
addicted, and
Between the two
I'm
of
thinking
us,
that
there
there
must
is
be a
lot of
clear
people
winner
in
and
India who
loser.
love to play Genshin
And
Impact,
what
but there
better
is
place
no
to
as
hold
such
such a
more
riveting
streamer
showdown
who
and
do
decide the
regular
true
stream on
victor
Genshin
than
Impact.
here,
There's a
on the
little
grandest of stages,
audience
the opera
and little
epiclese.
like streamers who do this
Wasn't
thing,
a
so
draw.
that's why I love
She
to do this
obviously
thing.
lost last
Because I
time.
love and
I
enjoy this like
understand.
story mode and RPG.
Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they
Thanks,
have been
buddy.
cleared by the guards.
And hope you
A
also
day
share
isn't that
this
long.
stream to your friends.
Let's
And
see what
I
kind
will
of case
try
this
to
big
like
shot
do a
Outlander can
post
build in such a
artifacts
short amount of
and
time.
what's builds gonna help people. That kind of video
really
also,
quite
like pretty
looking
soon.
forward
I will
to hearing
update
it.
those things. How anyone can easily farm anything, like roadmap, something, that kind of thing. Also, I would think sooner.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? I understand. Even I'm not sure what happened, so I can only imagine how difficult it is for you to grasp the situation. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But, if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor
By
Cal
the
was
way,
in the
thank you,
box.
buddy. Thank you.
As for how
for
that
come
girl
to my
chosen from the
stream and like
audience could
watching.
suddenly
I
disappear,
think get
I'm
like 3
afraid
more
I don't have
people.
any answers
Like
either.
those
If
are
someone
still
tampered with
online
my
and day,
performance, then
and
we
I
need to
saw
figure out
my
what they
great
did.
great
Even a
opening
skilled
wishes
and
and all.
knowledgeable magician like
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened.
Right now,
Whatever
I'm
happened must have
building
been
from
that
like
which is
scratch.
possible.
To be
Paimon
honest,
bought them when we were reading
like
at the
I
brewery. Paimon used her own
few days
savings
ago I
fund.
built
I
no
think they
plate,
look cute on you, Paimon.
and he's good enough right now.
good
Not the
taste,
best
Lynette.
one. And then I built Arena,
that's the right attitude.
and
Feeling
now I'm
depressed isn't going
ready
to
to
help
build
me now.
Nahida plus
I need to get
Shogun.
back to my normal self.
So I can like do a like Hydro
But with
Bloom.
the guards watching
Bloom.
our every move, it's going to be
Hyper
especially
Bloom.
difficult for Lynette and I to. Good thing you agreed to be our.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Oh, well. I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be
Yeah,
important
kind of. You can
evidence that will
think
be weighted during
I'm
the
like
trial.
doing that.
Tis truly
Try
a
to
pity.
do a like 2 team
As a
belts
magician, our
at a
magic
one
show is a
time.
work of art.
But
We've
I
poured
I
countless
don't
hours
have
and
like
spared no effort in
80
perfecting
or
it.
70 level 4-star anything
But if
right now.
revealing our secrets
But
will help you
I will
uncover
pull
the
up.
truth behind what
And I think
happened, then
Shangchu,
it will be well
I
worth
think
it.
there is like upcoming
We should
event.
go
We can like
somewhere else
claim
if
a
we're going to
one
discuss
character
our
of
magic
like
tricks.
4
We'll
star.
go speak
So
with the
my team
guards,
will be
and
gonna
in the
like fulfill
meantime,
after that.
you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon
But
is
ultimate goal
on the
was
case.
like, you are right. I'm trying to build 2 team for areas.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it.
His good one, but I literally like not like that much because
This is the real
whenever you
mystery.
use
We've
his
already
charge
searched the
attack,
scene and were
whenever
unable
you
to find
using
any
E
traces of
power
the girl.
like
However, if you look carefully,
decrease
the box was
his
positioned
health
directly under the
again
water
and again
tank.
up till
Ropes holding the
10%.
tank, all these
I don't
factors
think so.
lining
That
up so
was a good
perfectly
one.
makes
Like
it hard to see this as a mere
there
accident.
is a
If anything, the
Fukushinobu
more
have like
logical
50%
explanation is
decrease.
that the
After
whole incident was
50%,
intentionally planned,
his
and
her
Linny is
health
the
not
most
gonna
likely person to have
get
access
down,
to all
but
these areas.
gaming health was like
Doesn't have
10%, bro.
audience.
Like not
Are
really
you
help.
both good
But
friends?
I think so.
Well,
Whenever
can't
you like
say
hit
we're
someone,
good
it
friends,
reflect
but
healing
we've
also.
known each other for little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The
But
real trick
one
of
of
a
my
magician
friend
is
got
holding
like
the audience in the
C5
palm of their hand.
gaming, I know.
I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that. Sorry, I tend to be pretty. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
उसके लिए मतलब काइंड ऑफ ऐसा सोचो गेमिंग के लिए अभी जो बैनर में नया कैरेक्टर आया है आई थिंक दैट गोना हेल्प वो चाहिए अगर आपके पास वो नहीं है आई डोंट थिंक सो कि गेमिंग उतना हेल्पफुल होगा फॉर टीम unlike these things where is gaming did I get one I think I get one gaming this challenge whenever you use this one it decreases health I don't know why I can like literally check I can't change my character okay let's see where is it gaming so just things okay can't use okay I'm on a mission dude have to wait for some time yeah exactly but I think he's gonna take a Shinchu maybe
Go ahead, have a look around.
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troupe members are currently considered prime suspects. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troupe members all claim not to know her, and we have looked into her social connections. It seems, simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims?
That's how it seems to us, and it
Okay.
no need to be so It is of utmost...
okay I can really I think मैं try कर सकता हूँ ना यहाँ से so let's try this one right so check करते if you think this part whenever he is using this part हाँ जी okay
Sorry, pal. Alley-oop. Sorry, pal. Congratulations.
Alright. So यहाँ पे एक issue I think. Yeah, exactly. Like if you see this one, not ultimate, bro. If you use his E, charge it, see, drain his health. Also, recovering his health too, but I don't think so. That's like right health.
My guiding stars. Over here. Cue the spotlight.
Congratulations!
Just see, I'm not using his Q, just E. Also, he's draining his health.
Sorry, pal. The feeling's mutual.
I don't think so. This is the, like drawback for him. How you can keep up? You need a healer, bro. Or like this.
I'm going in.
But if you want to use, you have to use with Bennett. Like Bennett can heal.
Stars, shine for me. Let the magic begin.
Mighty mythical beast!
Let's light it up. Teamwork is dream.
You can say like probably if someone using Furina के लिए तो सही है खैर Furina के लिए बट बाकी ये हेल्थ ड्रेन करने वाला कैरेक्टर कुकी शुनोवियो आल्सो गुड क्योंकि उसका 50% तक ही हेल्थ जाता है उसके बाद वो रुक जाता है राइट तो बेसिकली चलो हम अपने मिशन पे आते हैं ऐसे तो बात कर ली हमने अब टू चेक दिस वन
So this is the rope. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
गुड क्वेश्चन
Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler?
Cookie like really I don't think so like, maybe
Whoa.
that also good
Most
right
of it was
but
burned
if you
away,
see
but
this
there's
one
still a...
just I think his
So
health
wait,
was 10% the cap okay got it
The investigation?
See?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Lenny used the. Well.
It turns out, I'm sure you already. In other words,
That much...
that you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Even...
Linny's magic trick.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, if you find any new...
We don't have too many... The thud?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with baited...
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the...
But wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think someone will be assigned to...
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who...
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor...
No, no need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. Judging from the look of things, I find Lenny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Lenny without any decisive evidence whatsoever. Wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her. All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
And why would that be? See, Silver and Maloose? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two?
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this...
You have a point. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on. I doubt there was much opportunity then, either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. All right, thank you for your help. This will be useful info. We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
अरे ब्रो सॉरी मेरा माइक म्यूट था मैं बोले जा रहा था एक्सट्रीमली सॉरी ब्रो मेरा माइक म्यूट था मैंने देखा नहीं था आज करना है ब्रो लाइक आज हमको करना है ग्रेट ऊपर जाना है क्या लोअर जाना है और बताओ कैसा था दिन तुम लोगों का सबका कैसा दिन था
Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Wait, bro.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I
अच्छी
got
बात
a
है ना
little
ब्रो
carried away
जितना ज़्यादा
there.
काम मिलेगा
Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Hey Arvind bro, welcome back.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
इसका जादू का राज पता चलेगा.
Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick.
I think so
But
bro,
before
वो
I
वाला
reveal
इवेंट अभी तक
everything, you should
बैनर
have
में
a
नहीं
look
आया.
first.
वो आएगा
Notice
तो मैं
anything
वीडियो बना के
strange here?
डालूंगा, ठीक है? शॉर्ट वीडियो ही डाल दूंगा काइंड ऑफ. आई थिंक 25 को आएगा, परसों तक आएगा.
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help
एक
you
4-स्टार
understand the
कैरेक्टर आप
methods
ले
used to
सकते हो,
perform it
बट
more
मैं
easily.
यही बोलूंगा कि आप पहले देखो आपके अकाउंट में क्या क्या कैरेक्टर है, उसको
balloons and
देख के
other
आप वो
decorations
4-स्टार
here?
कैरेक्टर लो जिससे आपका टीम
Where did all
अच्छे
that
से
go?
बिल्ड हो.
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back?
I mean,
You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
तो टेंशन मत लो ब्रो, आएगा तो लाइव में बता दूंगा.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a
तो
moment
बाकियों को
near
क्या
the end.
मिला आज बैनर किसने किसने
Yes,
पुल करा
a
चैट में से.
phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how Wow, every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
क्या लगता है बच पाएगा?
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why?
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water
नहीं वो
into a
केस
jug
में फंस गया ना
and then flip
लिनेट
the jug over only for the
लड़की
water
को
to
गायब करने के
disappear? And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was
कैसे चल
wearing,
रहा सब
right?
कुछ?
Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
नहीं ब्रो मैं वेस्ट बंगाल से हूँ ब्रो पाजी किदा
And do
क्या हाल
you
है
really need to... Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore. Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first. What is this place?
सबका डिनर हो गया guys
It seems someone could fit through here.
वहाँ पे दिखाएगा ना
Perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon... Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head
Very
back
good.
up.
Very good. कहाँ जा रहे हो?
Well, we've ascertained the state of... Let's find a place to sort out...
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Novelet called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties.
चैट में
Or
से
that we
किसी
might
को
find
हेल्प चाहिए
outside
तो
help to
बताना
disrupt
आ
the
जाएंगे
case.
गोल्ड में
And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding! Just kidding! Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But...
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
भाई खाना बना के खाएंगे ये लोग
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself, beating egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and
भाई
baking
कितना
like this?
बड़ा स्टोरी है bro.
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books,
I
sip
think
tea,
it's
ride
gonna be like
horses,
1 hour,
and play
30
the
minutes
piano.
something.
I just
All.
really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit. No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have—
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Maloose, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another... I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time, as it would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help, and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Maloose, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
All right, it's time to put our heads together.
Time 8 बज के बाद चलो शाम के 6 बजे
Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. Do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the F2P's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true? Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys.
बहुत अच्छा
What
लग
is
रहा
there
है
left to
वैसे।
discuss?
Order! Order, I say!
Order, I say.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1
तुम्हारा हो गया
hour.
ना मिशन?
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
तो भाई आज के दिन आया था भाई.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
Ugh, that took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When when the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced and what he saw. Seems... Seems this won't produce a particularly effective... Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
क्रिश वर्मा, हाँ जी ब्रो, एप्पल तो दिन में कर चुका। आपने करा ब्रो एप्पल?
According... Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something
This
to
time
say!
आपका 50.
When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored.
All the best.
Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again. And in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface and... Paimon did it!
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
कर सकता
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played.
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Could there have been a third person? The deceased's name is Cowell.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell,
Yeah,
the
ice
deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing... Linny was not in the tunnel at that... The deceased's name is Halsey's clothing was in the It would have been tough for both. The sound we heard may have... Halsey's clothing was... The sound we heard may have... Halsey's clothing was in... It would have been tough for both people. The deceased's name is Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. Linny was not in the tunnel. No one entered or left the opera house. Linny was not in the tunnel at... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. It would have been tough for both.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and... The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. The vase was not broken by chance.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the Primordial Sea.
The Primordial Sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowl was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. The deceased's name is Cowl, Linny's... The rope that strung the water tank up... I remember there was something else within the... Now it seems like the hook rope was... The rope that strung the water tank... The water from the primordial sea... Lynette was in the magic box on... Now it seems like the hook rope would... The deceased's name is Cowl, Linny...
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cowl's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell, but upon his ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed F2P is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no! Paimon can't... seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Oh, why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
But what in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Linny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
Order कर
And voila.
लड़की वापस
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowell. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief! Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective. Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized. The flower vase was not broken. The strange sound.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing it, mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect. He tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out, and with no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What, are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow, look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the F2P. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
What?
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
आ रहा हूँ मैं। स्टोरी चल कर कर।
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the F2P. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood. And the knave
So, she...
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles, but she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Heart.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel... Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides! And give...
Ah, I see. Sorry.
Don't say that, Nav.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right, then. Let's have our farewell meal.
फाइनली 30 प्रीमो जेम्स के लिए many hours सबसे शुरू क्या बोल रहे हो? I literally like almost 2 hours, bro. Like really. मैंने स्किप नहीं करा. अगर मैं स्किप करता तो बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो जाता. बट 2.5 घंटे almost. I don't want to continue this one. Nah. I don't want to. वाह चलो अपने कैरेक्टर को बिल्ड करने में लगाते टाइम। ओके Diamond Mastery. HP. Diamond Master. Naturally charge element mastery. Attack, नीचे HP 11 mastery. Naturally charge element mastery. रेट बढ़ेगा, HP भी बढ़ेगा इससे। $3 I don't know. ओके दूसरे पे है ऐसा क्या? Hello Arvind bro. Hi. Level mastery. Okay. Not how much. Okay. Dendro. Introvert damage. Okay. Maybe element. ठीक है अभी के लिए बिना कुछ करे इतना 11 मास्टर मेरा 51 है ब्रो। लाइक आपके वर्ल्ड में अगर मैं आपको हेल्प करने आना चाहूँगा तो आपको 16 लेवल होना चाहिए फॉर दैट। ओके उसके बाद ही मैं आपको हेल्प करने आ सकता हूँ। बट चलो आई थिंक आज सारे चले गए। आप ही हो सिर्फ चैट पे। बोलो इस क्यूट गर्ल को अपग्रेड करा जाए तो करते हैं अपग्रेड फिर। होता हाँ जी, ज़रूर ज़रूर करेंगे भाई, ज़रूर, क्यों नहीं, बेशक करेंगे। आपको तो विशेस का पता चल गया होगा फिर अभी तक, ये विशेस ऐसे वेस्ट नहीं करना है, एक टाइम टू टाइम जब ज़रूरत पड़े तभी करना है।
Silence!
This might hurt a little.
अब इससे हो गया अपडेट है। ऑलराइट, चलो इसको करते 40 ले।
I'm getting smarter.
ओके ब्रो, तो अभी ये 15 चाहिए, राइट? बंदरों को मारना पड़ेगा वो तो।
Settle down!
Everyone hold hands.
Justice is blindsided.
थैंक यू ब्रो, मैं हर एक चीज़ में सपोर्ट करने की कोशिश करूँगा जिससे आप लोगों को समझ आए हर चीज़ को। हाँ जी, वैसे ही लाइव में मैं वो स्टोरी मोड करते करते थैंक यू पूछने के लिए, आपने खा लिया क्या भाई? ये है कहाँ पे?
Bow your head.
Let's change tactics.
Illusion shattered.
Silence! An oversight on my part. Bow your head.
ब्रो लाइक बहुत चीज़ों में काम आता है, बनाना हो कुछ उसमें भी काम आता है। इवेंचुअली रुको एक बार पूछ तेजू। हेलो तेजू, आर यू हियर? रमेश, ओके अब आओ एक बार। कह रहा हूँ गेम में गाजर का सबसे यूज किस में होता है? क्या पाउडर बनाने के लिए? ओके तो नहीं वो पूछ रहा था। हाँ जी ब्रो यूज करते हैं डिस्कॉर्ड। मैं कल हाँ जी ओके तो पाउडर बनाने के लिए टी पॉट में का यूज होता है। डिस्कॉर्ड है ब्रो। लाइक मैं खुद एज डिस्कॉर्ड मॉडरेटर वर्क करता हूँ प्रोफेशनल। तो मैं मेरा डिस्कॉर्ड डिज़ाइन करता हूँ कल। आपको साथ बात कर पाएंगे इस सर्वर में शेयर करूँगा। हाँ अच्छा लग रहा है।
Settle down.
तो अभी जहाँ पे मैं हूँ वो दोस्त का सर्वर है, प्राइवेट सर्वर है। उससे अगर ऐड करने में फिर दिक्कत होगा तो मैं कल बनाता हूँ। ओके सो अभी जिस सर्वर में हूँ लाइक प्राइवेट सर्वर है खैर, तो मैं कल बनाता हूँ ब्रो।
There is no escape.
Silence.
तो कल मैं आप यहाँ पे स्ट्रीम पे फिर शेयर करता हूँ एंड उसके बाद से हम सब मिल के बात कर सकते हैं।
I see everything.
ओके ब्रो एंड अगर कुछ और जानना है आपको तो आप पूछ सकते हो ऐसे। एंड ब्रो मैप में जब भी कहीं पे आप जाते हो ऐसे देखना टेलीपोर्ट रहेगा हर जगह। मेक श्योर कि हर टेलीपोर्ट को आप ऑन कर दो ताकि कभी भी मिशन आए तब आपको पूरा घूमने ना पड़े। हाउस नहीं ब्रो वो लाइक इसमें आप रह नहीं सकते किसी भी हाउस में। बट हाँ देयर वाज अ कॉल टी पॉट करके एक ऑप्शन है यहाँ पे टी पॉट करके ऐसे ये खोलना पड़ता है मिशन करके। और इस वाले घर को आप अपने हिसाब से कस्टमाइज कर सकते हो जैसा आपका मन हो आप उसको बना सकते हो। काइंड ऑफ ऐसा सोच लो। ये सोचो ये बिल्डिंग मेरा है इसको मैं कस्टमाइज कर सकता हूँ। यहाँ पे मैं खेती बाड़ी कर सकता हूँ। इसको भी मैंने बना के रखा है। अबे फूल लगाया मैंने। ओके फूल बीज खत्म हो गया बीज लगाना पड़े। तो देखो ये तो ठीक है लाइक मेरा प्लान है एक और बनाने का। ये बना रहा हूँ ये वाला हाउस ये वाला हाउस बना रहा हूँ। ये कंप्लीटेड नहीं है जब हो जाएगा तब मैं दिखाऊंगा अच्छे से। ये कंप्लीटेड नहीं है ऐसा हाउस पूरा बनेगा। ये सब टी पॉट में कर सकते हो आप मेन मैप में कुछ नहीं कर सकते।
We have put in much.
बीच खरीद लो जो भी है, फिर मिला ना मिला। यहाँ पे कुछ भी खरीद सकता हूँ, सोच रहा हूँ, और वगैरह।
If you ever have it.
ओके, मैंने तो उससे फुल उठा लिया, कोई बात नहीं। एंड अब तो समझ जाओ कि ऐसे ही होता है कि यहाँ से जाके आप वो कर सकते हो अगर आपको चाहिए तो। घर बनाने का शौक हो है तो, बट ऐसे गेम के मेन में नहीं कर सकते। चलो देखते हैं। तुम्हारे फुरीना 90 लेवल हो गई ना? लाइव नहीं ब्रो, आप भी लाइव करते हो क्या?
Illusion shattered.
Justice is blindsided. Settle down.
गुड नाइट ब्रो, मिलता है। ऐसे मैं अपग्रेड कर रहा हूँ अपना कैरेक्टर को, नाहिदा को। हाँ ब्रो, लाइक 12 तक करूँगा, 12 के बाद बंद करता हूँ ऐसा रखा है।
I see everything. Everyone hold hands.
Shine down.
बताओ
From the
ना कमजोर है मेरा।
Strike a pose.
Settle down. Let the mighty be humbled.
see everything. Hey! Yeah! Everyone hold hands! I see everything! May I present?
Silence!
Everyone hold hands!
आ गए तुम? नाहिदा को अपग्रेड कर। तुम्हारा अभी
Hey!
ये था सतीश।
I see everything.
Bow your head.
वो भी नया सब्सक्राइबर है ना? वही तुम लाइव देख रहे हो? कब से देख रहे हो? मुझे लगता क्या होगा इसका?
My mind is growing.
वाला 12-6 मुझे ये नहीं बनाना है। तो कल दूसरे के वर्ल्ड में जाके मांग।
Everyone hold hands.
Settle down.
Illusion shattered.
I see everything.
Bow your head.
Just ठीक है ना? ये 60 होगा ना अगर वो जाएगा तो। किस बात का है तुम्हें? ऐसे कैसे क्या बताओ, बोला करो ना। हैं इन्हें आएगा देखना
Settle down.
There is no escape.
Bow your head. Be sanctified.
तो क्यों मैं तो आ जाऊँ अभी दिखाएगा तो कहाँ तेरा ऑप्शन और लेवल 7 दिखा रहा है क्या मुझे रेस्ट
Illusion shattered.
I see everything. Everyone hold hands.
Settle down.
बोल रहे थे दिखा नहीं रहा रिस्टार्ट नहीं कर रहा था ना उस टाइम
Bow your head.
अब कैसे आ गया फिर तो क्यों मार मार के कलेक्ट कर खत्म
Justice is blindsided. Silence.
on my part. Settle down.
Hello.
No mercy.
The show begins. Out of my
नहीं मैं कह रहा हूँ
May I present? The show begins.
Illusion shattered.
वाला एनिमी खत्म हो गया पता कहाँ है तो आगे वर्ल्ड में एक मिनट, तो मेरे वर्ल्ड क्या चेक मेरे वर्ल्ड
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
will भी कम है मैं किसी वर्ल्ड में
Being too popular can be such a hassle. Who knew the people would adore me so much? interesting to do?
Something on your mind again? Let's work through it together. Two heads are better than one.
या दूसरी
You take...
How brilliant!
Everyone hold hands.
Bow your head.
No excuse for slacking. Flash frost. Fresh my words are
Everyone hold
back
hands.
into it.
The tides beckon.
Stay right there. Don't waste time. Don't be such a brute. You're in for a little shock. Try not to enjoy this too much.
Commit to memory.
Flash freeze.
I see everything.
Come a little closer.
Shower me with praise. I see the scars.
It isn't time for a break yet. Not breaking a sweat.
Say this quickly.
No slacking off.
Justice is blindsided. Be certified. An oversight on my part.
Strike a pose!
You're in for a little shock.
Settle down. Silence.
Let's not waste time. Let's end this quickly.
May I present